Okay, I forgot something in the last video about mediumship. That incident that I mentioned about seeing the girl's grandfather, and all the times that she didn't recognize things, and then finally she did. What I neglected to mention was the other 5 things, let's say, that she did not recognize. She spoke to her mother that evening, and her mother recognized every single one of them. I had mentioned that I saw something wrong with his hand. And what had happened is he had been, in the wintertime, walking through an alley and slipped on the ice, and his hand went down and hit a bottle, and the glass went up through his hand. But things like this go on all the time in terms of recognizing that somebody genuinely is there. The other, in the same light, the other thing I can always remember is we had somebody in our group, my wife, who did what is called channeling, where a spirit is able to speak through her. And we had one of our members, a student, who had a real serious problem, but it was very personal and very private. And she really couldn't ask the question to get help from the guide who was there, because of the other people being there. And all of a sudden, he said some things and gave her some information, and she just went into tears. And what had happened is, without her even asking the question, he gave her the answers she was looking for. And that's why this part of the presentation here is so difficult for me, for the simple reason is I worry about being able to adequately put into words what this whole thing has meant to me, this relationship with these people. These are people. I want to re-emphasize that. They are people. Forget about what you see on TV and on the movies or whatever it might be. They are people. Some of them are more evolved. Some of them are just farther along the path than you and I are, but they are still just people. One of the first things that was ever said to us through a channeling session was, one of the first words was, "You are loved more than you can possibly imagine." These people have found that the single greatest thing that they can do is to be of service to others, to help in whatever way possible. We had a healing group that worked, that we would held once a night, where once a week, where people would come for healing, and the energy that was sent through us to those people, I know, came from the guides. They devote themselves to us in terms of helping us to develop, and that's a distinction also that really has got to be made clear. There may be people around you and others who are interested in their welfare, but you get a guide when you decide to open up and to become a medium, and then you have a decision to make once that process takes place. Are you going to help them accomplish their goals and what they want to do? And it's up to you. Are you just going to go merrily along your way, or are you going to help them do what they want to do, and that is to be of service? The reason you're looking at me and seeing me do those videos is I have committed to them to help them accomplish their goals. And I've been trying to do it as best I can for a very long period of time. It is difficult to put into words the things that you'll learn, and that's the other portion of this, the learning. To be able to, either during a channeling session, or even doing it mentally, to have questions, to learn as far as learning ancient wisdom, and seeing how ancient philosophies fit into our daily lives, and how you can use this knowledge to help others. Again, I want to reiterate that if somebody were to do something self-serving, they would have no help from these people. They are simply in the service of others. And the organization that I had for like 18 years that was its goal. So as I go through these different lessons, whether it's about this or it's about reincarnation or whatever it might be, an awful lot of what I know has come from them, and I'm just passing it on. Because what a medium truly is a conduit. We are just channels, whether it be from the knowledge that comes through us, that comes from the guides, that comes from people who are just a bit farther along the path than we are, and some of them are very much further along the path, or to help us in our daily lives. I give an example, and this is, I think, very indicative of the philosophy also of the guides. I smoked for 20 years. Now, if I was going to be a healer, this would not be a good thing, because everything is vibration, and we would pass it on in the course of a healing. So in one of the sessions we had, I was told that I should quit smoking, and they reached up and pulled this was a channeling session, reached up and pulled a pack out of my pocket and threw it on the floor. And I said, I'll stop smoking. Now, what I meant was sometime in the future, I would stop smoking. And after the session was over, one of the other people that were there said to me, well, you have to stop smoking now. And I said, yeah, sometime I will. He says, no, you promised you were going to stop smoking. Now is what they believe you meant. It's now. And I said, oh, well, no, that's not what I meant. And I decided, well, I'm going to try. So I went home. I didn't smoke. This was about 7, 8 o'clock at night. I didn't smoke all that night. Didn't smoke all the next day. At about 7:30 the following evening, I was going crazy. And boy, I lit up a cigarette. And I hadn't been done with the cigarette for 5 minutes when I got a phone call from this woman who had done the channeling for me and said, Joe, your guide is here. He knows that you smoked, but he understands, so don't worry about it. He understands why you did it. They will tell you to do something, that you need to do something, and they will only tell you once. They've given you the information. It's your decision what you do, and they leave it up to you. I never heard it again, and I did end up smoking. Took me a bit, but I did end up quitting, and it's been, as best I can recollect, about 27 years since I did that. Anyway, this is just the tip of the iceberg. There are so many things I could relate to you that just absolutely blew me out of the water in terms of impressing me with the knowledge that was given to us, with the help that was given to us. So there's much more than telling people that a relative is here, or that there is definitely life after this life. There is receiving help and receiving knowledge, which has just proven to be invaluable. It's an incredible relationship, which I wouldn't give up for anything. And it's so funny because when I started out taking those classes, I took them with a great deal of trepidation. I didn't really want to take it because I didn't want to become a medium. I just wanted to develop psychic abilities. But here I am 30 years later, and I'm still doing it, and I'm still trying to help them accomplish their goals. And I will never give it up because it's a part of my life. It'll go on, and I love every moment of it, and I treasure it. I'll be talking to you again about some different subjects. Take care, and we'll talk to you again.